Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kenya, and today I'm going to show you guys how I make my rainbow sherbet body butter. This is my triple body butter, and yeah, so let me go ahead and jump right into the video. So I have all my butters laid down. I'm just going to put my gloves on before I start because I am going to be touching the butters directly. So I'm gonna just measure everything out with my scale. I measure everything with my scale. All my products are, my ingredients are measured out, okay? So I know some people ask, do I just put that in there? No, I don't. I measure everything because I am selling this product. So first up is my shea butter. And here it is right here. I'm just gonna cut it up using, this was like one of my soap cutters that when I first started making soap, I had this. I no longer use it, so I just use it to cut up my butters. It's a lot easier. So yep, that's what I'm using. And after I measure everything out and put it in this bowl, I'm going to transfer it over into my mixing bowl that's right up there in the back to the left. I know somebody's gonna probably be thinking, I know I'm thinking as I'm watching this video, yes, my nails is a hot mess, okay? So you will be seeing it. It may be cringy throughout the video, but I just didn't have time to, like, I recorded so many videos in one day, and I didn't have time to, like, stop and do my nails. So my nails is just, it's just really, really bad. One hand is painted, half painted, and the other one is coming off or whatever. I don't. All the butters are measured out and they're in this mixing bowl. I'm just gonna go put it on a double boiler, and here it is in the pot. Well, it's in the bowl, but the bowl is sitting in the pot on the stove, and we're just gonna wait for it to melt. And right here, it's melted. So I'm gonna go ahead and add in the rest of my oils, which is my jojoba oil and my sunflower oil. After I put these in here, then I'm going to pop it in the freezer, and I'll show you what I do next. So it's out of the freezer, and I'm not going to be using my gloves because I'm no longer directly touching any of the ingredients that's going inside of this product. So it's out of the freezer. This is how I like for it to be. I don't want it to be extremely solidified, but still soft enough for me to move it around. For some reason, no matter how much you want the middle to be liquid, but the outside part it's always solidified more than the middle. So I just need to scrape that down, because if I put that on the mixer as is, I'm going to have to stop and scrape it down anyway, because the mixer, the whisk attachment is not going to pick up those sides. So I have to pull them down so that everything is a lot easier for me. And then next, I'm going to be adding in the fragrance oil and the vitamin E oil. I put these in last because these are heat sensitive ingredients, and I could not add that in there when it was on the heat, the double boiler. So here goes my vitamin E. I put the fragrance oil first, and here's my vitamin E oil. And now I can go ahead and blend this out. I no longer need my measuring. I no longer need my, what is that? I no longer need my scale. So just go ahead and move that over. And it's time to blend. I like to start off blending really slow, just to avoid, if I start off too fast, it may splash out of the bowl a little bit. So I like to try to break everything up first on low, and then eventually I'll turn the speed up on high. Now that I've reached my desired light and fluffiness, I'm going to stop mixing and move on to the last and final step. I no longer need this mixer, so let me go ahead and clear the counter because I'm going to need all the space that I can get. So here's my press and seal. This is what I like to use. But before we do that, let me clean this counter down a little bit because we did, have all these other things on here. So let's clean it off. I like to clean my counter more than once, because you just never know. And like I said, I'm not using any gloves anymore, but I still like to sanitize my hand throughout the process. And now I'm going to lay out a nice size piece of the press and seal on the counter. So I'm going to be dividing my mix, my butter mix. I'm going to divide my butter batter into 3. And I'm just going to use the same bowl to mix them. But yeah, so I'm going to first mix the blue. And I like to start off really, really light because I don't, I have a desired color that I want. I want it more like a pastel colors. So I just started off really, really light. And I guess the darker, the more you add, the darker the color will be. So I would advise anyone to first start off really light with adding the colors and gradually mix it in. And plus, like, it's easier to mix it in when you're adding little at a time because you have to literally make sure that that pigment is, that mica is mixed out really, really good. I've had failed trials where I did not mix all the way and I was doing a little test batch and I didn't mix it all the way, and you can see it when I rubbed it on my skin. So I learned my lesson. I gotta mix as long as I need to. Now that I'm done, I see all of the mica is mixed out really good. I can start laying it out here on the press and seal. Now it's time to move on to the next color. So that's literally what I'm going to be doing, is just taking out little at a time out of the mixing bowl and adding color, mixing, and just that's all I'm going to do until I get all 3 of my colors laid out. I don't know if you can see right there, the top left corner right there next to the color that I just placed down. That's one of my test batch, and I like to keep that nearby because that helps me make sure that I'm reaching my desired color for each one of my batches. So I want to make sure that the colors are, as close as possible, because it's really easy to just not put enough blue or not enough yellow or whatever, and the batches end up coming out different colors. So, and customers notice that, especially if they're returning customers, they notice that. So I like to always keep one near, and that's what my reference is. Here's the last little bit. I could have left it in the mixing bowl and did it, but it was just easier for camera purposes, for recording purposes, for me to just keep it in this little bowl. So here's my last and final color that I gotta mix. My arms at this point is extremely tired. Yes, I could have used a hand blender, a hand mixer, but I feel like it was gonna, because it's not a lot in this bowl, it was gonna splatter it all over the place. I was gonna have to keep stopping to bring it back to the center. So this was a lot easier for me. Now that I am done with all 3 of my colors, they look so good. I can press the seal paper together. That's why it's called press and seal, guys. You can literally just bring it together and press it and it will seal itself. So that's why I prefer using this. This is a lot easier than using saran wrap, a lot easier. Now here was the big problem I had with this. I had this little piping bag. I did not have any more of my bigger piping bags, and I didn't realize that before I started making this. And this bag is way too small, so I was like, how in the world? This is gonna be crazy. Okay. But I made it work. Here are my containers. In my other videos, I talk about where I get all my things from, but here are my containers. I already washed them before, but I just like to go back and use my alcohol and clean the inside out right before I add any product in there. Yep, now I got my container on the scale because like I said, I like to measure everything out. Um, but yeah, follow me on TikTok, guys. I started a TikTok. So yeah, I don't know why I went back to try to add this little bit on top and I messed it up. Look at that. It didn't even go all the way around. Messed that top up. I'm so mad at that. But it's all good. And here's these little sealing protector seals. I talked about this in one of my last videos. But yeah, I now add this on top. But this is just a safety seal. So when you receive your product, this is how you know like it wasn't tampered with or anything. So I just put this on there and cap it and it seals. You literally have to pull it off when you open the jar. Now it's time to label. So I now label the top of my body butters and the sides. I don't know, I had these extra round labels and I just like, why not? So I label the top and I label the sides of my jars. I design all of my body butters by myself. All labels, everything is done by me. And I am done, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. But I hope you guys enjoyed this. Follow me on my social media, which will be listed down in the description box. And subscribe, guys. Subscribe to this channel so you can see more about, you know, what's up, what's coming up and everything. And I'll see y'all in another video.